I would be furious. I would be furious to beat the game. You know how hard it is to beat Street Fighter?
Angel Knot.
Salutations to the nations. What's good, Angel Knots? It's your boy Young Sinai. So today we're going to be reacting to a video, Gaming's Greatest Prank. Now, I don't know what this is, but it had Street Fighter in the thumbnail, and your boy loves Street Fighter. Hop on Street Fighter 6. I will destroy you. I'm building my roster. You feel me? I was a huge fan of Ken for a long time. Like, don't get me wrong, I still like Ken. But then it went to Kimberly. Now I'm using Lily a lot, you feel me? And Luke. Like, dog, I'm building my roster. What are you doing? If you like Street Fighter and you think you good, how come you have not challenged me in Street Fighter 6? Like, you know what I'm saying? So this video is by, all right, I ain't gonna lie, I can't pronounce this because this is a mix of letters and numbers. I think it's Trober. It's TR0B3R. I apologize, I can't pronounce that out loud. I'm sorry. If anybody knows, just correct me in the comments. I'm not meaning any disrespect to this creator, but let's go ahead and check out the video.
It's March 7th, 1991, and game developer Capcom has just released their newest game, Street Fighter 2. It's an instant hit with lines building up at arcade machines.
Yes, it is an instant hit. You should take a look at, when you're done with this video, take a look at the video that I made, video games that got turned into TV shows, and I talk about how much money Street Fighter made in its first year. It made $1 billion with a B, $billion in its first year at arcade machines with quarters. So it's 4 billion quarters. It's insane. It is an insane amount of money they made.
And to this day, it's still considered to be one of the greatest fighting games of all time. People are having a blast playing the game and fighting one another, but then people notice something strange within the game. In Street Fighter 2, you get to choose one of 8 characters to play as. When you defeat an opponent, each character will spout a different quote for their victory. But if you play as the character Ryu, his victory quote will state that you must defeat Sheng Long to stand a chance. Okay. But who the heck is Sheng Long? He's not one of the characters to choose from, and he's not a boss in the game's story. So that must mean one thing. Sheng Long must be an unlockable character, or an unlockable boss fight.
It's gotta be a character. Cassie, there's some secrets in here. A lot of people, because the first Street Fighter was all about secrets.
Somewhere in this game lies a character that players need to find in order to...
He said the first Street Fighter was all about what? Did he say secretry? I can't say that.
Somewhere in this...
There's some secrets in here. A lot of people, because the first Street Fighter was all about secrets.
Somewhere...
Yo, don't nobody know what the first Street Fighter was about. Street Fighter 2 was the first Street Fighter. Okay, that was the first Street Fighter people cared about.
In this game lies a character that players need to find in order to really stand a chance. But nobody knows where he is, what he's capable of, or even how to unlock him. And it would remain that way for over a year until April 1992.
In my mind, I thought he was just going to say it would remain that way for over a decade. No, it was a year.
A video game magazine by the name of Electronic Gaming Monthly would release that month's newest issue, stating that they had finally found Sheng Long. The article was written by a man named Ken Williams, but he was not the one to find Sheng Long. That honor went to a person known as W.A. Stokens from Fujigen Ha. They had found Sheng Long, had photos to back up their evidence, and not only that, they're going to tell us exactly how to find him.
This is an April Fool's joke.
Okay, so how you unlock Sheng Long goes like this. You must play the game as Ryu, and not take a single hit until you get to the stage where you fight the character M. Bison. From there, you must survive 10 rounds in a row without hitting or getting hit by M. Bison. Afterwards, Sheng Long will jump in and...
Wait, I'm confused. How can you survive 10 rounds considering the fights are 2 rounds per match unless, you lose one or whatever? Do you have to set in the settings for 10 round games? If so, first off, I don't even know if that's a thing in Street Fighter 2. But if so, then that would mean that you would have to set it for 10 rounds for every match, because there's no way to change just the settings of one match. I am stupid confused. Please let me know in the comments what the heck they mean by that.
Throw M. Bison off screen, and then the player must defeat him in a full fight to the death. After all this time, Sheng Long could no longer stay in hiding. Players now had the knowledge and the skill. They went to the nearest arcade cabinet, quartered...
Yo, that's a way to run up they pockets, man. That is crazy. Oh, yeah, and you definitely couldn't change in the settings in an arcade machine. I'm thinking like Super Nintendo. But, yo, that was running up they pockets. That's crazy. I feel like if Capcom put out that information directly, they should be sued. Like, for real, because you're having people invest not only their time, but their quarters, their money into trying to beat this person and not take any damage and all of this. Like, that's crazy. That's why the Video Game Magazine had to put out this lie. He's saying it's a prank, but it's just a lie.
At the ready, prepared to take down the one who's been eluding them for over a year.
Fight!
I'm turning that down because I ain't trying to get no copyright. Man, Street Fighter is a phenomenon. I was talking to my cousin last night about what he thinks the biggest fighting game was, Street Fighter, Tekken, or Mortal Kombat, since that's like the big three, but really it's no contest. Like, Street Fighter destroys them in the amount of sales.
Nothing. Wait, nothing? Really? Did we screw up or something? Did we miss a step? It doesn't look like it. We did everything right. Where's Sheng Long? I guess we did something wrong. Well, let's try again. Players completed the challenge a second time, and this time they were rewarded with...
Nothing.
Nothing again. Time and time again, they followed all the directions and all the rules and still were rewarded with nothing.
I would be furious. I would be furious to beat the game. You know how hard it is to beat Street Fighter, not taking any hits until the last match? And it was people straight doing it, probably practicing to do it too. So not only are you taking their coins for this challenge, but also to practice for this challenge. Like, yo, if Capcom had put this out, I feel like it would be a class action lawsuit. I'm dead serious. What y'all think? Let me know in the comments.
What the heck is going on here? Where is Sheng Long? Well, it wouldn't be until a few months later that same year when the truth would come out. This article that talks about how to unlock Sheng...
What I say right here. Boom. I knew it was April Fool's. I knew it was an April Fool's joke. Lucky. Rewind it. Show the part where I say it's an April Fool's joke. I knew it was.
Long is a prank.
You just got pranked.
How to find him.
What is that, April Fool's joke? April Fool's joke?
The entire thing was made up by staff at Electronic Gaming Monthly as an April Fool's prank.
I got so used to seeing that Sheng Long, you must defeat Sheng Long to stand a chance. And when we saw that phrase, we're like, there's got to be a secret character. So I'm like, you know what? we got this newfangled Photoshop versions and stuff like that. What if I create one?
Oh
so
my
I went and I started like, I can recolor stuff. I can like take like parts of this character and put them on over here. It was coming up where we needed, if we were going to do an April Fool's gag, we had to come up with something. There was like a crowd of like all the editors that were around us. And
I would unsubscribe from that magazine. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. I wouldn't even think it was funny. Like, if I was one of the people partaking in this and going over and over, I was like, nope, unsubscribing.
And next thing I know is Steve comes by. He's like, what's going on? And this is like one of those rare things where like, Steve, come.
Because it's one thing if people are playing this on their Super Nintendos, their Sega Genesis and stuff, but this is during the arcades. So people are literally spending their money, right? No, heck no. Heck no.
Check this out. You think maybe we could use this for April Fools? And he took one look and he's like, make it happen. He loved it. He loved it. This looks actually pretty good. I think this is going to fool a lot of people.
We started hearing through osmosis that people, despite all of our clues, were falling for it.
Their little prank enraged not only gamers, but
Good.
arcade owners as well.
And arcade owners were like, you're breaking our machines. The quarterbacks are full.
I was getting hate mail in the...
That's funny that the arcade was getting mad that they were getting too much money. That's ironic.
section, opening letters and like, I can't do this. What's wrong with you?
I spent my whole paycheck trying to unlock this trick, man.
That's not funny. What is funny about that? Like, I'm sorry if I'm taking this seriously, but like the cognitive dissonance, is that the word I'm looking for? Hold up. I might be out of my vocabulary league. Define cognitive dissonance. No, that's not the term. The being out of touch, okay? Being out of touch. I know what that means. To the point, like, look, he's laughing.
What's wrong with you? Section, opening letters and like, I can't do this. What's wrong with you?
I spent my whole paycheck trying to unlock this trick, man.
That's not funny. This video low-key is making me mad. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the entire video. Let me know, am I tripping? Or do y'all see where I'm coming from? Like, what is funny about this? Like, could you imagine? I don't even have to have an example. This is the example. This is very stupid.
6 hours wasted.
Oh my dude, you just got pranked.
Not only were players fooled, but it fooled other publications around the world in Europe, Japan, and even Hong Kong as they passed off the story of Sheng Long as if it was real.
It showed up in Japan.
Yeah.
They started reprinting it like, oh, look at this cool trick that we found.
The prank even reached Capcom, the
I noticed that they're on a panel or whatever. I feel like people in the audience should be like, boo, boo, you suck.
developers of Street Fighter, and they had to come out and say that Sheng Long was a prank.
This is legit. This really happened. Somebody comes running into the office. I don't remember who it was, but somebody came in. Guys, call Capcom corporate number right now. Call Capcom's corporate. So, all right, we call, and it's their recording. And they're like, hi, thank you for calling Capcom USA. If you're calling about the EGM trick, please call EGM at this number. So apparently they were getting inundated.
I didn't
with
even
calls.
know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know who it was that ran into the office and called Capcom corporate. Capcom corporate's probably mad at us. Like, I think we've done something horrible here.
I thought,
Duh. You think you did something dumb? All you did.
we did something great.
No.
Keep in mind that this was the early 90s when the internet was still small and fact-checking wasn't as easy. So when they see this article, many people believe it as fact, even though it's supposed to be obvious that it's a prank. The person who
What on there, I hope he goes over it, but what on there specifically is showing like, okay, this is a prank? Like, what are the hints they gave?
supposedly found Sheng Long, W.A. Stokens from Fujigen Ha, are
Forge again. Ha. That's so clever.
are pseudonyms for Waste Tokens and Fooled Again Ha, respectfully.
Saul Goodman. It's like Saul Good, man.
The method of unlocking
I love Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
Sheng Long was meant to be near impossible due to the requirements needed to pull it off.
So we try to make it as ridiculous as possible.
And also, the bottom of the article literally tells readers to be on the lookout for an April Fool's joke in the magazine on the page that talks about Sheng Long, but still it went over everyone's heads.
We literally...
Okay, now I'm giving them a little bit more credit. Because, I mean, they did try to say it right there. I'm kind of torn. That's a huge thing. I don't know why I thought when he was showing that earlier, I thought that he was showing the page from the next month's issue. So you see like, oh, this was the April Fool's joke we did last month. But if this was on that month's issue, okay, now I don't know. I'm still kind of torn.
Really put the contest on the page. I say, if somebody falls for this, I don't know what to tell you. I can't say. I said that just means people are gullible.
I don't get it.
So, the whole thing was a prank.
Prank, baby!
But the question still remains, how do you really unlock Sheng Long?
That's the neat thing. You don't.
Because Sheng Long doesn't exist. But how could he not exist? He's mentioned in the game. In fact, later in April 1992, Street Fighter II would be ported to the SNES, and the manual for it would state that he's the master of characters Ryu and Ken. How could he not exist? Well, in order to understand that, we need to know what was going on with games back then. Back in the late 80s and early 90s, Japan dominated the gaming market. This caught the attention of people in the USA who also wanted to be part of these games. So they started shipping games over to America. But the problem was that most of these games were in Japanese and had to be translated into English. And translations back then were not very good. This led to some comedic mistranslations, such as, "Congratulations, I feel asleep. This guy are sick. Welcome to die." And the most infamous mistranslation,
All your days are belong to us.
this victory quote from Street Fighter II is one of those mistranslations. Ryu is supposed to say, "You must defeat my Shoryuken," to stand a chance.
Okay, that makes more sense. What I was thinking is Japan still fell for this trick, right? So was Japan not reading what it said, or was Japan just taking the article and running with it? Like, I could see how it could fool Americans and those outside of Japan, but Japan also fell for the trick.
Shoryuken was accidentally translated to Sheng Long, and the rest is history. All that money, all that time, wasted on a character who didn't even exist. But could he exist? After the prank, the name of Sheng Long began to spread, to the point where fans demanded him to be real. On December 17th, 1992, Capcom released Street Fighter II Turbo, and in the game, there was a new character that players could fight, and the process to unlock him was eerily similar to the challenges that were mentioned in the EGM article about Sheng Long. Players followed all the steps and were rewarded with fighting the elusive Akuma. Okay, well, a few years later, in 1994, Street Fighter would get a movie, and with it, a tie-in video game the following
Akuma was in Street Fighter II Turbo? I did not know that.
year, a game which makes numerous references to Sheng Long, but he still makes no appearance. In 1997, Capcom announced Street Fighter III New Generation, and many fans were confident that this would feature the elusive Sheng Long. The game came out in February of that year, only for Sheng Long to make no appearance. That April, EGM once again came out with another article telling everyone that Sheng Long does exist within the game. This time, it was a lot more obvious that it was an April Fool's prank. It spent more time talking about the backstory of Sheng Long than it did explain how to unlock him, and when it did explain how to unlock him, the article just ends abruptly. Also, if you look at the first letter unlock him, the article just ends abruptly.
To reach him, you will need at least 6 perfects, and I mean, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me, April fool me twice. Why are y'all still subscribed to this magazine?
Also, if you look at the first letter in the first sentence, it starts with the letter A. The first letter of the second sentence starts with the letter P. If you do this for the first 10 sentences of the article, it actually spells out the phrase, April Fools. Okay, that's actually pretty clever. Not that many people fell for it this time. The sequel wasn't as good as the original, but the article did add some lore into the legend of Sheng Long, such as him being the master of Ryu and Ken, that he's the brother of Akuma, and it completely changed his character design. It also said that the reason why players can't find him is because Sheng Long goes by a different name in Japan. Gouken. Gouken was mentioned in the Street Fighter II manga, and in 2008, with the release of Street Fighter IV, he would become a playable character. Around this time, some fans accepted that Gouken and Sheng Long were the same person, but with different names, although other fans were adamant about this. In an interview with EGM earlier that year, producer Yoshinori Ono hinted that Sheng Long would make an appearance in the game, but as mentioned earlier, he never did. In April of that year, Capcom themselves made an announcement on their development blog about an unlockable character coming to Street Fighter IV, complete with a silhouetted image and the technique to unlock him. But the next day, it was confirmed to be another prank.
They ain't got nothing better to do. They ain't got nothing. Stop pranking the people spending money on your stuff and just release good stuff.
I don't like this anymore.
This time, the reception was a lot more negative, as many fans were getting
good. This is getting on my nerves, and I'm not even falling for these pranks.
Tired of being subject to an inside joke that had been going on for over a decade. No! A few days later, the same development blog would go on to state, Sheng Long is still now and always will be truly a character of legend. A legend that would continue to grow over time. In November that year, Street Fighter II would receive an HD port, and Sheng Long would be referenced as an achievement for beating Akuma in arcade mode. In 2012, Disney released the movie Wreck-It Ralph, which featured many references to classic video games, one of them being a reference to Sheng Long with his name spray-painted on a wall. Then in
That's dope. Wreck-It Ralph is such a good film. The first one. The second one, I got some issues with. I ain't gonna touch on all them, but that first one is a classic.
2017, with the announcement of Street Fighter V, many fans hoped that he would make an appearance, only to have their hopes crushed once again as they were met with another joke profile on the Capcom Fighters Network website. At this point, the legend of Sheng Long had been going on for over 20 years. What started off as a mistranslation that turned into a prank by some gaming journalists had become one of the biggest
Man, them the biggest losers in the industry. Them right here. Hold on.
That turned into a prank by some gaming journalists.
These dudes right here. I hope y'all see this video.
Had become.
If I get any dislikes on this video, I know it was from them.
One of the biggest legends and running jokes in gaming history. But here's the thing about running jokes. Eventually they stop being funny, and they need to come to an end. And as for this running joke, well, there was only one way for it to end properly.
Years later, Street Fighter VI finally gives Sheng Long the canon appearance he deserves. Down sign, trying to get on copyright. He does not look how I expected him to look. Yeah. Beat this dude up. Beat this dude up. Sheng Long done wasted 20 years of our lives. Now he want to come around. He like a dad that wasn't there. All right. So that was really good. Shout outs to Trober, I believe it's pronounced. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Shout outs to him. I love Street Fighter stuff. That was some very interesting lore. It made me really upset. Let me know, was I overreacting or was that a genuine reason to be upset? When he finally came into Street Fighter 6, I feel like he looked like garbage. I think that the original fake pictures of him actually looked a lot better. I don't know if I'm satisfied with him being in the game. Well, I guess I'm satisfied with him being in the game. He should have just looked cooler. And he should be an unlockable character that you should be able to play as, right? But yeah, I appreciate you guys rocking with me. Please make sure that you like and subscribe. I'm on my journey to my first 1,000 subs. I'm having a competition where you can potentially win a Trim UI brick. I'll be giving that away when I hit 1,000 subs. And please make sure that you check out some more videos by your boy. You know what I'm saying? Specifically, check out the one that I mentioned regarding video games that were turned into TV shows because it talks about Street Fighter on that. All right, God bless and salutations to the nations. Peace.
Angel Knot.